What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. We are continuing on our David Ayer review series leading up to The Beekeeper, a movie that I am morbidly curious about. But in Street Kings, you have Keanu Reeves, who stars as a play by his own books LAPD detective. You have his captain, played by Forrest Whitaker, who covers up for him. And after he helps save two missing girls, he becomes the target of a hotshot internal affairs captain, played by Hugh Glory. Now, the only reason why I remember this movie is because it got a straight to DVD sequel. You have Keanu Reeves, who is tracking down these two girls that went missing, and once he finds out where they are and where they're being held, this is basically him coming out as John Wick. And so he's basically shooting people left and right, staging it as if they were shooting at him first. And that setup right there was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. I was in for it, and I couldn't wait to see what this movie had in store for me. Quite frankly, this movie had nothing in store for me. You have a star-studded cast in here. You have Forrest Whitaker, Hugh Glory, Chris Evans, Cedric the Entertainer, Terry Crews, Common, and Naomi Harris. And you also have a couple of guys on Keanu Reeves' team, and they're not utilized as much as they should have, because this movie just felt like it was leaning more on the star power than it was on the plot. Because this is a straightforward type of movie. You know exactly how this movie is going to end. You've seen it in almost every corrupt cop type of movie, and there was no surprises in this movie. But I wanted this movie to be fun, and I just did not have any fun with this movie because for the most part, I was really bored with it. The performances in here are decent enough. If you're going into this movie expecting an Oscar award winning type of movie, you're not going to get that with this movie. It is a paint by numbers type of crime action, and there are elements about this movie that I really enjoy, where you have Keanu Reeves, who is still trying to reel in from the loss of his wife that got killed, and nobody did anything. And so he's basically a vigilante at his own way. So their loved ones don't have to come back in a body bag. And then once you have his ex-partner that got shot down, he tracks down the people that are responsible for it. And even when it comes down to that mystery, there was nothing about this movie that got me engaged at all, aside from like the first 5 minutes of this movie. This movie was boring. It was okay, cliched as all hell. So if you're into those type of movies, the corrupt cop type of films, then this movie is going to be right up your alley, because that is exactly what this movie is. There's nothing new in here. There's nothing that really captures your attention. And I kind of wanted this movie to be a little bit more fun than it actually turned out to be, because I really love the cast that we have here. The performances were decent enough. They were decent enough to where you could somewhat get by. But the dialogue is atrocious. Not the biggest fan of David Ayer's direction in here, and there were just a lot of missed opportunities that I thought could have been used better. But at the end of the day, most of the cast here is just completely wasted by the end of the film. But those are my thoughts on Street Kings. Have you guys checked it out? Do you even remember this movie? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next video.